In the vastness of space, the Galactic Council gathered in their grand chamber. The walls were lined with screens displaying various planets, each one representing a member of the Council. Aliens of different shapes and sizes filled the room, their eyes fixed on the main screen where Earth shone brightly. The Council members were worried about the humans. They believed that humanity was a threat, but they could not understand just how dangerous they really were. The Council's leader, a tall alien with shimmering skin, raised his hand to silence the chatter. "We must act quickly," he said, his voice echoing through the chamber. "The humans are becoming too bold. They explore space and expand their technology. We cannot let them gain any more power." A murmur spread among the Council members. Some nodded in agreement, while others looked uneasy. An alien with 3 eyes spoke up. "But they are still primitive. Their ships are weak, and their weapons are outdated. We could easily defeat them in battle." The leader frowned. "Do not underestimate them. They are clever. They surprise us with their tactics. We should strike first before they become too strong." His words made the members uneasy, but many agreed. They could not risk the possibility of a human uprising. As the debate continued, a small figure in the corner of the room observed silently. A human spy had infiltrated the Council. Dressed in alien clothing, he blended in well but listened closely to every word. His heart raced as he heard the Council's plans to attack Earth. The Council members were confident, but he knew better. He knew that humanity had hidden strengths. With great care, the spy activated a small device hidden in his pocket. It connected him to a secure line back to Earth. He quickly transmitted the information, knowing that every second counted. As he did this, the leader of the Council continued to speak, his voice rising with anger. "We must prepare our fleets. We will show the humans that they are nothing but insects beneath our feet." The tension in the chamber grew. Many Council members began to argue about the best way to proceed. Some believed a direct attack would cause chaos, while others thought a stealth approach would be wiser. They all feared humanity, but they did not yet realize the true power they were up against. Meanwhile, back on Earth, the message reached the military leaders. They were gathered in a hidden underground base, a secret place where they could discuss strategies away from prying eyes. The news from the spy shocked them. They had always known that the Galactic Council watched humanity closely, but they had no idea that a full-scale attack was planned. The military commander, a strong woman with determination in her eyes, stood up. "This is our chance! We cannot let them destroy us. We have to wake up the hidden fleet. It's time to show the Council what humanity is capable of." The other leaders exchanged glances, some filled with fear, others with courage. They knew the fleet had been in cryosleep for centuries, but they also understood it was humanity's greatest hope. They had built it during a time of exploration, when humans were brave enough to reach for the stars. Now they would need that bravery once more. As they activated the procedures to wake the fleet, the spy watched from his hidden location. He felt a surge of hope. He had faith in humanity's spirit and their ability to surprise the Council. As the Council continued to bicker, they remained blissfully unaware of the storm brewing on Earth. In the Grand Chamber, the leader of the Council continued to speak, urging for immediate action. "We will crush them! We will remind them of their place in the galaxy!" His words stirred excitement among some, but also fear among others. Little did they know, they were about to make the biggest mistake of their lives. With the spy's message sent and the hidden fleet awakened, the stage was set. Humanity was ready to fight back against the Council's arrogance. As the Council prepared for war, the humans were not only ready to defend their home, but also eager to show the galaxy that they were a force to be reckoned with. The Galactic Council was about to learn a valuable lesson: never underestimate the spirit of humanity. Deep beneath the surface of Earth, in a secret underground base, a group of military leaders gathered. The room was dimly lit, filled with high-tech screens and buzzing machinery. The atmosphere was tense, but there was also a spark of excitement. They had just received urgent news from their spy in the Galactic Council, and now it was time to act. Commander Sarah, a determined woman with short brown hair and sharp eyes, stood at the front of the room. She looked at her fellow leaders, her voice steady but filled with urgency. "The Council plans to attack us. We cannot sit back and wait for them to strike. We need to awaken the hidden fleet now." The leaders nodded, understanding the gravity of the situation. They had long spoken about this fleet, a powerful group of warships that had been built during humanity's golden age of exploration. These ships had remained dormant for centuries, hidden away to protect them from threats. But now they were humanity's only hope. "Where is the fleet located?" asked General Mark, a tall man with a strong build. His brow was furrowed with concern. "Is it ready to fight?" Commander Sarah pointed to a map on the screen, which showed a location deep in the mountains. "It's buried in a secret hangar. We have the codes to access it, but we need to move quickly. The Council will not wait for us to prepare." The leaders quickly gathered their things, each person filled with a sense of purpose. They knew that they had to reach the fleet before the Council could attack. As they made their way through the base's long corridors, a sense of determination filled the air. They were not just fighting for themselves, they were fighting for their planet, their families, and their future. Arriving at the hangar, they entered a massive chamber filled with dust and shadows. The walls were lined with old machines and technology, remnants of a time when humans had looked to the stars. In the center of the room lay the hidden fleet. Giant warships, sleek and powerful, stood silently, waiting to be awakened. Commander Sarah stepped forward, her heart racing with anticipation. "Let's bring them to life," she said. She activated a control panel, and the screens flickered to life, displaying the ship's systems. She entered the access codes, and the room filled with a low hum as the machines began to wake. One by one, the ships lit up, their powerful engines roaring to life. The once dormant fleet began to stir. The sight of the massive ships brought a wave of hope to the leaders. They were about to unleash humanity's might. As the ships powered up, their designs became clear: advanced weapons, enhanced shields, and state-of-the-art technology. The ships were a marvel of engineering, built to take on the most powerful enemies in the galaxy. The leaders watched in awe as the fleet slowly came back to life. "This is it," General Mark said, grinning widely. "We have the strength to fight back!" But Commander Sarah's expression turned serious. "We must remember, the Council thinks we are weak. We need to surprise them. We have to be strategic in our attack. Our enemies will underestimate us, and we must use that to our advantage." With the fleet fully awakened, the leaders began to strategize. They gathered around a large table, looking at holographic displays of the Galactic Council's ships. They planned their first move, aiming to strike before the Council could reach Earth. As they discussed tactics, the spy from the Council watched from a distance. He had infiltrated the base and listened to their plans. He felt a mix of fear and excitement. Humanity had hidden power, but now it was ready to unleash its fury. The Council would be in for a shock. With the final plans in place, the fleet was ready for launch. Commander Sarah stood in front of the ships, feeling a sense of pride and determination. "Today we fight for our planet and for our future. We will show the Galactic Council that humanity is not to be taken lightly. They may have underestimated us, but they will soon learn that we are a force to be reckoned with." With that, the fleet prepared for takeoff, engines humming with energy. The time had come to awaken the hidden warriors of humanity and defend their home from the approaching threat. As the ships ascended into the skies, hope soared alongside them, marking the beginning of a new chapter in the struggle for survival. The Council had made a grave mistake, and now humanity was ready to strike back. The hidden fleet of humanity soared into space, its ships glinting like stars against the black sky. Commander Sarah stood at the helm of the flagship, the Sovereign, her eyes fixed on the screen before her. The tension in the control room was palpable as they approached the outer edges of Earth's atmosphere, ready to confront the Galactic Council. "Status report!" she commanded, her voice steady but firm. The crew quickly turned to their consoles, fingers flying over the buttons. "Commander," a young officer named Ben reported, "we have detected Council ships moving toward Earth. Their fleet is massive, but we are faster and can take them by surprise." "Good," Sarah said, feeling a rush of adrenaline. "Prepare for battle. We will engage them before they reach Earth. They think we are weak. It's time to show them how wrong they are." The crew moved swiftly, checking weapons and shields. As the ships flew through the vastness of space, the stars shimmered around them, a beautiful backdrop for the storm that was about to unfold. Commander Sarah felt a mix of fear and determination. She knew the odds were against them, but humanity had always thrived in the face of danger. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the ship. "Incoming enemy vessels!" shouted an officer at the radar station. The screen lit up with red dots, indicating the Council ships approaching rapidly. "They're here!" Ben exclaimed, eyes wide with excitement. "We need to move now!" "Engage stealth mode!" Sarah ordered. The fleet dimmed its lights and slowed its engines, becoming almost invisible against the backdrop of space. They had trained for this moment, but now it felt real. The fate of Earth hung in the balance. As the Council ships approached, the humans waited in silence, their hearts racing. The enemy vessels were larger and more imposing, their sleek designs exuding power and authority. Sarah couldn't help but feel a spark of confidence. This was their chance to prove that humanity was more than what the Council believed. "Ready weapons," she called. The crew responded quickly, preparing the powerful laser cannons and missile launchers. They were ready to strike. Just as the Council ships came into view, Commander Sarah gave the order. "Now, attack!" The fleet unleashed a wave of firepower, bright beams of light cutting through the darkness of space. The Council ships, taken completely by surprise, were not prepared for such an aggressive assault. The humans were hitting them hard and fast, with precision and determination. "Direct hit on the lead ship," shouted Ben, eyes shining with excitement. The Council's massive vessel shuddered under the impact. It was a moment of shock for everyone, including the Council members aboard the ship. "Return fire!" commanded a Council officer, but it was too late. The humans were already regrouping for their next attack, their ships moving swiftly around the larger enemy vessels. Sarah felt a rush of adrenaline. They were holding their own against a force they had once feared. On board the lead Council ship, the officers were in chaos. How is this possible? "They're fighting back!" one alien shouted, panic evident in their voice. They had underestimated humanity, thinking they were easy prey, and now the reality was setting in. Back on the Sovereign, Sarah pushed the advantage. "Target their weapon systems! We cannot let them fire back!" The crew worked diligently, aiming their weapons and striking with fierce determination. The battle raged on, bright flashes of light illuminating the darkness of space. The Council ships, now aware of the humans' strength, tried to regroup and counterattack, but the humans were relentless. Their ships moved like shadows, striking swiftly and disappearing before the Council could respond. "Another hit! They're losing control!" Ben shouted, his voice filled with excitement. The humans could hardly believe their eyes as the Council ships began to retreat. This was a turning point. In that moment of victory, Commander Sarah felt a surge of pride. They were not just defending their planet, they were changing the course of history. The Galactic Council, once confident in their superiority, was now scrambling to escape the onslaught of humanity's hidden fleet. As the battle continued, the humans proved their resilience and bravery. The Council had made a grave mistake in underestimating them, and now humanity was determined to show the galaxy what they were truly capable of. The shocking first encounter marked the beginning of a new era, one where the Council would have to reckon with the unexpected might of Earth's warriors. With each victory, hope blossomed among the human fleet. They were no longer just a target, they were a force to be reckoned with. As the Council ships fell back, the Sovereign and its fleet stood tall, ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. The fight for Earth had just begun, and humanity was ready to prove itself. Back in the heart of the Galactic Council's flagship, chaos erupted. The Grand Chamber, once filled with confidence, was now a scene of panic. Council members shouted over each other, their faces filled with disbelief and fear as the reports poured in from their commanders. Can someone explain how this is happening? How did they manage to awaken such a fleet? Counselor Tharok, a tall alien with shimmering green skin and piercing yellow eyes, slammed his fist on the table. His frustration was palpable. He had always underestimated humans, thinking them primitive and weak. Now that arrogance was proving to be a dangerous mistake. "Sir, they were hiding a fleet beneath their planet," another officer reported, sweat dripping from his brow. "We never suspected they had such advanced technology. Our intelligence failed us." "Failed us?" Tharok roared, his voice echoing through the chamber. "This is a disaster! They are fighting back with more force than we imagined. We need to regroup and strategize immediately." In the back of the chamber, Counselor Atria, a smaller alien with delicate features and bright blue skin, spoke up, her voice shaking slightly. "Perhaps we should consider a ceasefire. They may not be as powerful as they seem. We could negotiate." Tharok shot her a sharp look. "Negotiate? With those savages? They have just proven they can defeat us. We cannot show weakness. We must crush them before they gain any more confidence." Meanwhile, in the control room, the officers struggled to manage the unfolding situation. Alarms blared, and the screens flickered with images of the battle. The humans' hidden fleet was relentless, striking hard and fast. The council ships, once symbols of power, now struggled to maintain their positions. "Sir, we are losing ships!" "They have taken out 3 of our cruisers already," shouted a frantic officer. The room fell silent for a moment as the weight of the news settled in. The council was losing its grip on the situation. "Send out the reserve fleet," Tharok ordered, his voice booming with authority. "We cannot allow them to gain any more ground. Show them our strength." As the order was issued, panic spread among the council members. They were not used to losing. The Galactic Council had ruled for centuries, and the thought of being challenged by a race they had long deemed inferior was unsettling. Meanwhile, back in the human fleet, Commander Sarah monitored the battle from the Sovereign. She felt a wave of exhilaration. They were winning, but she knew that the Council would not give up easily. The reports of chaos within the Council's flagship filled her with hope, but she remained focused. "Prepare for another attack," she ordered, her voice steady. "We must keep the pressure on them. They are losing control, and we cannot let up now." The crew responded with enthusiasm, fueling their ships with energy. The humans understood the significance of this moment. They were not just defending their planet. They were fighting for their place in the galaxy. Each victory was a step toward securing their freedom from the oppressive Council. As the human fleet regrouped, the Council scrambled to maintain order. The reserve fleet was mobilized, but it would take time for them to reach the battlefield. Tharok paced the floor, his mind racing. He could not allow the humans to gain any more confidence. "Send a message to all Council ships," Tharok commanded. "We must coordinate our attacks and strike back with everything we have. We will not be beaten by these creatures." Back in the Sovereign, Sarah received updates about the Council's movements. "They are regrouping, but it seems they are in disarray," Ben reported, excitement evident in his voice. "This is our chance to strike hard." "Then let's do it," Sarah replied. "We will show them that humanity is not to be underestimated. Prepare for our next assault." As the human ships lined up for another attack, the Council's reserve fleet began to emerge from hyperspace. The sight of more enemy ships made the humans tense, but Sarah knew they had the advantage. The Council was not prepared for what was coming. The battle reignited, bright lasers flashing through the void of space. The humans fought fiercely, determined to prove their strength. The Council, now frantic and desperate, struggled to keep their formation, their confidence shattered. Panic swept through the Galactic Council as they faced a reality they had never anticipated. The hidden human fleet was a force to be reckoned with, and their attempts to assert dominance were crumbling. As the humans pressed forward, the Council members realized that their reign might not last forever. The tides of war had shifted, and humanity was rising to claim its place among the stars. The battle in space raged on, a chaotic dance of fire and fury. The once proud Galactic Council was now in a desperate struggle against the hidden fleet of humanity. Commander Sarah stood firm at the helm of the Sovereign, her heart pounding with a mix of fear and excitement. This was the moment they had been waiting for, the moment to prove their strength. "Status report!" she demanded, her voice cutting through the noise in the control room. "We've taken out 2 more Council cruisers, but they are regrouping," Ben replied, his fingers flying over the controls. "They're sending in their reserve fleet. We need to be careful." Sarah nodded, knowing that they had to act quickly. "Prepare for a bold strike. We must take advantage of their disarray. If we can hit their command ship, we can disrupt their entire operation." The crew sprang into action, their faces set with determination. They had trained for this moment, and now it was time to show the galaxy what humanity was capable of. As they maneuvered the Sovereign, Sarah felt a surge of confidence. They had come so far, and they were not about to back down now. "Commander, the Council's command ship is on the move," Ben reported. "It's trying to escape the main battle, but it's vulnerable." "Let's cut them off," Sarah commanded. "All ships, follow my lead!" The human fleet adjusted its course, charging toward the command ship of the Galactic Council. The Council ships, still reeling from the unexpected assault, struggled to respond. The Sovereign glided through the chaos, its weapons systems ready for action. As they closed in on the command ship, Sarah's heart raced. This was their chance to strike a decisive blow. "Prepare weapons!" she ordered. The crew readied the powerful laser cannons and missile launchers, adrenaline coursing through their veins. Suddenly, the Council's command ship turned to face them, its massive guns locking onto the Sovereign. Sarah could see the panic in the faces of the council officers as they realized they were being targeted. "Fire at will!" Sarah shouted. Bright beams of energy shot from the human ships, illuminating the darkness of space. The lasers struck the command ship, shaking it violently. Explosions erupted on its surface as the crew of the Sovereign pressed their attack, striking with precision and ferocity. "Direct hits! They're taking heavy damage!" Ben shouted, his voice filled with excitement. The humans could hardly believe their luck. They were striking at the heart of the Council's command structure. But the Council was not finished yet. "Return fire!" An officer on the command ship barked, desperation creeping into his voice. The Council's weapons unleashed a barrage of energy blasts, lighting up the void around them. Sarah's heart raced as she ordered evasive maneuvers. "Steady! Don't let up," she commanded. The Sovereign twisted and turned, dodging the enemy fire while maintaining its attack on the command ship. The crew worked in perfect harmony, each member knowing their role. "Shields are holding!" Ben shouted, relief evident in his voice. The humans were gaining momentum, and the Council's command ship was now on the defensive. With one final push, Sarah saw the command ship faltering. "Now! Focus all fire on their main reactor!" she yelled. The crew responded immediately, redirecting their weapons to target the heart of the Council's command ship. Bright beams of energy converged on the reactor, and in a blinding flash, the command ship erupted in flames. The shockwaves rippled through space as the Council officers watched in horror. The once mighty ship, a symbol of their power, was now reduced to debris. "We did it!" Ben shouted, elation in his voice. The crew cheered, their spirits soaring as they witnessed the fruits of their labor. Humanity had struck a bold blow against the Council, and it felt exhilarating. As the remains of the Council's command ship drifted in space, the remaining Council vessels began to retreat, their once confident demeanor replaced with fear. The humans pressed their advantage, knowing that they had turned the tide of the battle. Commander Sarah stood tall, pride swelling in her chest. They had shown the galaxy that humanity was not to be underestimated. They had fought for their planet and won, and now they were a force to be reckoned with. "Let's pursue them!" Sarah ordered, her voice filled with determination. The crew quickly responded, their hearts pounding with excitement. They were no longer just defenders of Earth, they were warriors, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. As the hidden fleet of humanity pressed on, the Galactic Council felt the weight of their mistakes. They had underestimated humanity, and now they would have to reckon with the consequences. The bold strike had changed everything, and the galaxy would never be the same again. Humanity had risen to claim its place among the stars, and there was no turning back.